How Leonardo DiCaprio forced Hollywood to take him seriously. As an actor, have you ever thought about what it takes to go from being just another face in Hollywood to a strong figure that people look up to? In this video, we look at how Leonardo DiCaprio went from having early problems with his work to becoming an undeniable star. What were the turning points and smart moves that made Hollywood finally pay attention to him? Come with us as we investigate DiCaprio's quick rise and the amazing steps he took to become one of the most admired actors in the business. For as long as anybody can remember, Leonardo DiCaprio appears to have been at the top of Hollywood, yet his career almost took a different turn. His success with Gangs of New York is the singular endeavor responsible for his longevity, renown, and countless honors. In the same way, Leonardo DiCaprio became well known in the early 1990s with modest roles in genre movies like Critters 3 and Poison Ivy and TV shows like Parenthood and Growing Pains. But this boy's life would turn out to be the big break the young actor needed. Later that same year, DiCaprio betrayed Johnny Depp's brother who has developmental disabilities in What's Eating, despite reportedly beating out 400 young actors for the role of Toby, where he would be playing opposite megastars Robert De Niro and Ellen Barkin in a story about a rebellious teenager trying to sort out life. He would become a star officially thanks to Gilbert Grape. He became one of Hollywood's hottest young commodities after receiving nominations for Best Supporting Actor, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar for the performance. His dedication to the role of Arnie made it possible for his career to take off. Quickly after, DiCaprio featured in Sam. This is where things can go one of two ways. Ray meets the Quick and the Dead, The Basketball Diaries, and Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet in many young performers' careers. They have two options. Either they choose roles carefully and create a long-lasting career, or they choose the easy road and wind up becoming the same old person. This was the intersection that DiCaprio was speeding right at. As he became more well-known, DiCaprio started to take on the role of a romantic hero. Adolescents flinged themselves upon him. He had a bit of reputation in Los Angeles, as did his group of pals, who included Tobey Maguire and Lucas Haas, among others. His off-screen shenanigans and loverboy attitude effectively crushed any chance that he would be taken seriously as an actor and artist, and the faster DiCaprio rose through the Hollywood ranks, the more this Lothario persona took hold. This would be the defining tension for the remainder of his career. Even though DiCaprio received numerous nominations for awards and was well known throughout the world, 1997 was the greatest year the young actor could have ever imagined. James Cameron rose to prominence as the world's most recognizable star following the publication of Titanic. With the $2.1 billion box office success of the movie and DiCaprio's almost Beatles-like popularity, the Hollywood press dubbed the actor's craze as Leo-mania. What was your reaction when Leo left? Felt incredible. I was in disbelief that I was seeing him. But along with his quick ascent, he lost his standing as a serious actor. The tales of how he diligently prepared for the role, how he remained in character on the set of What's Eating Gilbert Grape, or how he forced himself to cry in public during his audition for The Quick and the Dead were all gone. Even though DiCaprio had 11 nominations for the movie, the Academy protested that he was not nominated for his performance on Titanic, and he was now only considered as a nice face that the Hollywood machine sought to make money off of. Growing up in the Hollywood system, DiCaprio was aware of the benefits and drawbacks of this sudden burst of celebrity. The money offers that poured in were enormous. It is reported that DiCaprio received an offer over $20 million to feature in American Psycho. Nevertheless, he withdrew from the production before the commencement of filming. At this point, DiCaprio was a well-known household name, and everyone was keenly observing his next venture. Everyone was watching to see if DiCaprio could continue on his unstoppable ascent to superstardom. The picture he chose to star in next would be his first significant failure, The Beach, a Danny Boyle production based on the same titled Alex Garland novel. The movie did well at the box office. Critics ripped it to pieces, but many were afraid it would permanently harm DiCaprio's reputation as a young phenomenon who can actually inhabit characters. At this point, DiCaprio had to make a decision. Do you strive to reinvent yourself as a true actor by taking chances and starring in films directed by renowned directors, or do you stick with the huge box office appeal? Instead of going for the big box office hit, DiCaprio declined the part of Anakin Skywalker and Attack of the Clones to focus on two movies that would undoubtedly put him on the path he is currently on. Spielberg's uplifting criminal comedy, Catch Me If You Can, made its premiere in 2002 and is now regarded as a masterpiece. Furthermore, the sweeping epic Gangs of New York, directed by Scorsese and based on a novel by Herbert Asbury, tells the story of gang fighting in the lower Manhattan neighborhood of Five Points in 1846. The movie centers on Amsterdam Van Lenen, a young guy out to exact revenge on Bill the Butcher's gang by breaking into their ranks. The main reason this movie is being made is DiCaprio's excitement about collaborating with Scorsese. DiCaprio had no choice but to collaborate with the filmmaker. He gave his agent strict instructions to find out which of Scorsese's projects would be appropriate for a person his age. In addition to his advanced age, Scorsese had been attempting in vain to convince a studio to grant him the substantial funding required to complete the project. In an attempt to land the lead, DiCaprio visited Daniel Day-Lewis's home and persuaded him to play the villain who uses an axe in the narrative that is told in this English-speaking nation. Lewis had retired from acting at the time, but DiCaprio personally persuaded him to come back to the film for the role with everyone on board. Finally, Miramax supported the movie and gave it the go-ahead. Daniel Day-Lewis was cast for more reasons than just the movie's box office appeal. Yes, his passion, gravity, and dedication to the role make the movie what it is, but DiCaprio clearly wanted to compete with the greatest actor of his generation, which is perhaps the project's greatest risk. Our period piece is a tough sell for DiCaprio. Yes, but in DiCaprio's opinion, this attempt to reestablish himself as an actor's actor may have backfired. What if Day-Lewis simply blew him off screen and viewers observed a lack of effort on his part, reinforcing the Leomaniacal pretty boy Lothario stereotypes that were haunting him? Fortunately, that did not come to pass. Despite the fact that DiCaprio is credited with saying, "I like him a lot, but I think maybe once or twice we would find ourselves having these intense confrontations and realize that we weren't supposed to be rehearsing and the cameras weren't rolling," both actors were up to the challenge. Gangs of New York would not be an easy win for DiCaprio. The film was shot over 9 months, requiring numerous reshoots due to behind-the-scenes conflicts. Martin Scorsese even considered quitting the film industry after the film was finished because of the conflicts in the project, particularly Harvey Weinstein's constant attempts to sabotage the picture. This almost destroyed Scorsese's passion for the craft of filmmaking. In the end, DiCaprio's existential compromise succeeded. In addition to earning $193.8 million at the box office, the movie received 10 Academy Award nominations. If You Can and Try to Catch Me additionally received 2 Academy Award nominations. Gangs of New York, released in the same year, significantly altered DiCaprio's career path. In numerous press interviews from the time of the film's release, his co-stars could be seen repeating these talking points to describe some of the more strained and methodical ways that he and DiCaprio interacted. The film solidified him as a serious actor and would establish a formula for the leading man, encouraging him to approach and collaborate with auteur-directors in order to produce films of awards caliber over and over again throughout the next 20 years of his career. "Our 2 characters are not to be too chummy offset," stated Lewis. "He is no longer a child. He is a full-fledged leading man who understands that being a performer is as much about making thoughtful decisions and selecting your partners as it is about having actual talent in your chosen field. If that's not the best actor in the world, then he can take care of himself." DiCaprio was aware that a new chapter in his career was beginning. That's all we have for this episode of Nerdastalgic. He made the decision to pursue a career and a relationship that would yield creative fruit for over 2 decades thereafter, even if it might not have been as glamorous or monetarily successful at the time. Which of the films starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese should we film a video on next? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Join our community to explore the fascinating world of Hollywood legends and get inspired by the journeys of your favorite stars.